my friend was like, oh, you have that podcast thing today, right? And I'm like, yeah, and I'm really nervous. They were like, well, talk about poop. And I was like, I don't think I can do that. I'm like, well.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 74 of the On the Runs podcast. We are coming to you tonight virtually in our home podcast studios. I'm back from all the work travel I've been on recently, and Erica is back from an epic weekend at Reach the Beach. What is up, Ultra Penguin?
I am still getting over that awesome weekend. I am still exhausted, but I'm feeling good, and I'm just glad to be back.
I had so much FOMO all weekend being part of the group chat and listening. I'm really happy I got to jump in and say hi to the group in Chester, but I missed out.
I'm glad we got to see you too.
I missed out. And let me tell you something. One of the reasons I backed out was because my babysitter plan was I would be gone for 2 to 3 nights and I needed my parents' help. But they had a camping trip planned. And so I'm like, I knew that was out and this is going to be too hard on everybody if I'm not home. Well, because of this hurricane that was coming, that even changed part of the Reach the Beach course.
Yeah.
My parents canceled their camping trip. And I was like, well, if I just knew there was a hurricane 6 months ago, or even 2 months ago when I bailed.
How are you going to know that?
I could have done it. How are you going to know that? But it seemed like you had an awesome time.
Oh, it was an amazing time. We actually have just recorded a little something that you guys will have to hear later because it's too much to squeeze into a tiny intro and outro. But it was a blast. We had a great time.
Here's the deal. We have an amazing interview for you today when we had on a friend of ours that we met from Reach the Beach. We'll get to that in a minute. It went long. It went really long, and we had no show notes. It's just us talking and having a blast, and it's like, holy cow, it's been 2 hours.
She was so easy to talk to. It was so much fun.
She was, and she's like, I've never done a podcast. I'm nervous, and it's like, you're a natural. So it was like just hanging out, chatting. It's a great interview. Our outro is not going to be on this episode. It's going to drop on Thursday because our outro for episode 74 will be the Reach the Beach recap that we just recorded, and it's lengthy as well. So that's a lot of editing. So guys, here's your intro. We're going to go straight to the interview, and then we're going to do a quick end of this, and the outro for episode 74 will be Thursday. So we hope you enjoy that.
Let's just jump right into this. We have an ADU legend, and let's just get right into talking to Hanna Littlefield.
Our next guest on the pod is the flying purple figment of your imagination hair. I don't know. She is amazing. We met her at Anchor Down. She makes the coolest trophy awards that anyone could ever win and that could burn your house down, actually. But we love her, and she's amazing. Hanna Littlefield, welcome to the On the Runs podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? My first podcast ever.
I'm glad we could be a part of that. We're so happy to have you on. I mean, it's so awesome to see you every year doing your thing at Anchor Down, and now it's nice to get to know you a little bit better.
I know, likewise, because I see you. I see everybody when I'm running, but I never I only get to talk to people that are in my same pace or eating food at the same time. And I'm like, I know you, I've seen you, but I have no idea who you are.
Right, that's ultra life for you.
Well, we were at the Anchor Down Ultra just a few weeks ago, and it was at the very end. We packed up and we drove to the backside of the course, and we're just watching some people run by, and here you came, and Erica's like, I really want to say something to her. And so we waited for you, and you're the last person we saw, and Erica can tell everyone what she said, but then she goes, I would love to have her on the pod. And I think I DM'd you right then, and you got it maybe the following day when you checked your phone.
Yeah, I had to express my genuine thank you for the work that you put in for all of the Anchor Down awards. So I was lucky enough this year to place in the female open category, and you made this beautiful wood burned award. I mean, it has like special messages on the back, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. So you made them last year as well, and I saw them
what
and
does
I
the message
had to
say?
have one. Well, so the one from this year just says like "Love Hanna," but the other one, so this is the front from last year. It says, "Heck yeah, you're incredible, love Hanna," and I mean just the amount of work that goes into these, because you had to make how many did you have to make? There's so many like time categories times like age categories times whatever, and so you just know how much work and love was poured into those, and I just had to earn one. And I was lucky enough to do so.
For the second year.
For the second
in a
year.
row. Yeah. I hope you just have a whole display, and then, because I only, sometimes I'll forget to take pictures of them. I'll be like, I have no idea what I did last year. Like, what does it look like? But Jay Paganelli and I think it's going to be an ongoing thing where every year I'll get to kind of like, and he gives me like creative freedom. He's like, I don't care. You can do whatever you want with it. So I think going forward, just every year I'll get to kind of style it and then create them. And I think there's like 22, 24. I don't really know because it all blurs. It's kind of like running an ultra. It all blurs together where I'm just like, all right, cross this one off. Like there's a lot. It's a lot of them.
That just goes to show you, though, how special Anchor Down really is. Because where else are you going to get something like this? Like nobody else is going to really put in that kind of effort, especially if like you're not running the race. Like, well, you're physically running the race, but you're not directing it. Like anybody could just go spend money on something, but this is like it's so heartfelt and wonderful. So you gotta love it.
What is the process you go through to do that? Do you like go out in the backyard with the chainsaw and you're cutting tree down and then you slice it into like little pizza slices? Or do you like order these? Do you do it with a handsaw? What's the process?
Yeah, they're all natural Taunton trees from the Taunton Green. No, usually, so Jay and I coordinate, and he kind of like gets a list of how many we need. And typically it's the same every year because, masters, grandmasters, etc. He basically is like, tell me what I need to order. And the first year we did them, last year we were like, oh, it'd be cool to do them on, the little wooden plaques that look like trees instead of like, I don't know. And you can log on to Joann Fabrics and there's just so many options on what you could wood burn. And we settled for the trees for the trail running, and just it's a cool aesthetic. He orders them all, and I receive like 4 or 5 boxes of like wood on my front steps. And from there, I have to like kind of decide what font I'm going to use, have to decide what it's going to look like. Jay and I kind of like the idea of the overall 24-hour champs have that like ADU like logo, the big anchor, and it says, Anchor Down Ultra, run long on the side and stuff. So that goes for the 24 hours. I don't have to think about that. But for all the other ones, I kind of have to decide like what aesthetic is it, like what kind of anchor I want to do. Technically, I could use the same one, but I feel like for you, if it was the same looking as last year, like wouldn't it be boring?
It's nice. They're different, so like it's extra special.
So I kind of go through, figure out what I want it to look like, and then draw it out. And then it's a painstaking. There's got to be a better way to do this. But basically, I draw out the initial design, and then I take a pencil and I scribble on the back of the paper, and I flip it over and I put it on the wood, and I trace the design so that the lead from the back of the paper goes onto the wood. And I do that 24 times or however many people. I go through a lot of paper, a lot of pencils. And then I take a wood burning machine and I spend a lot of time wood burning them, which is like, it's very relaxing. It's very kind of like, it's very chill. I put music on, watch Netflix. I try not to burn down the house because the thing is that like, if you take a break, you can like prop your little, it looks like a little pen. You can like prop it up in the little holder, but I have 4 dogs. So I have to make sure that I close the office door because there have been times where like they've tripped over the wire and I've like caught it. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to burn my rug. I'm going to burn the house down. Like,
Do you ever burn yourself doing that? Like, it seems like a dangerous hobby.
It is. Well, the longer since you're holding it kind of like a pencil, like it gets so hot, like 400 degrees that your fingers will get really hot. Like I've definitely burned myself, but overall it's really fun. It's just very time consuming, or like if you mess up, you can't undo it. There's like
no pressure.
No way to. Yeah. And so like, you know, when I'm trying to get all these done, I have no idea, like, if I've messed up or, like, you know, I got one last year and I forgot a part of the letter R. And so it's like, you know, it's like ink up down ultra. And I was like, okay, well, good thing I won that one because, yeah, so it's just a lot of, like, organization, trying to make sure that, like, okay, I did, you know, women's 12-hour open. Now I have to do the men's because if I mess it up, I have to do it all over again from scratch. And like, love the race, love doing arts and crafts, but I don't want to do another 2-hour project that I have already finished.
Totally understandable.
2 hours. It takes you 2 hours to do one.
Probably about there. Yeah.
See the time and the love that goes into these things. Like I
It's a
speak
full
for
week.
most.
It's
Well,
more than
I hope
a full week of work.
I hope I speak for everybody, but these just mean so much that it's we love it, and as long as you will keep doing them, we're gonna keep trying to win them.
Well, if you remember, we did Anchor Down. This was our third year of you running Erica and me being there, hanging out and having a blast. So last year was the first time I've seen you at a race that you're like, I want that. I need to win because I need that. That is so cool.
Last year, Jay advertised him. He had it on Facebook, and I went, oh my God, look at that. And I went for it, and I was lucky enough to actually place. So, yeah, fingers crossed.
Because let's be honest.
Keep winning them.
Because let's be honest, the wall behind you, Hanna, impressive. Erica, your wall downstairs is impressive. People like Rachel runs for medals, impressive. But a medal's a medal. Throw a piece of wood there or a cool award like that. That is awesome. It's like, well, I won all these medals and I won this piece of wood. And if the house is burning down, I would go get it because it would be gone.
Don't jinx my house during a thunderstorm. Like, I'm scared now. At least I have them like close where I can run away with them. I'll leave the phone. You guys are on your own. I'm getting out of here with those things.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think there's a lot of people who like choose their races like for the race itself, but also because there's a cool medal or like a cool finisher's prize. Like, is it Juggins? There's an ultra that gives out like mugs, like hand thrown like pottery mugs if you're like an age winner. I don't recall which one it is because my ultra sign up history is probably, you know, the amount of races I look at. I'm like,
he's gonna Google all this.
I think
that gives away mugs to winners.
Yeah, and they're local pottery mugs that somebody nearby. I think it's a race down south somewhere, and they make this mug. And if you're like an age group winner, you get this mug. And I'm like, that's freaking cool. Like, anybody can get a medal. And like, you know, a finisher's medal is a finisher's medal. Like, it's hard won, but it's also just like, I don't know how long you've been doing EDU, but before last year, it was just ordering these little plastic trophies off Amazon or I don't know, wherever, which is still fun. Everybody loves to have a trophy. Like, you feel pretty badass. But at the same time, like an interesting, unique award is such an appeal. Like, if ADU wasn't super popular already, I'd be like, hey, Jay, advertise this and people will sign up. But it already sells out in like 2 seconds.
It does. So I've been doing this for 3 years, and the first year I did it, so it was the first year post COVID. I do have one of those little trophies, and I still love it. Yeah. It's wonderful, but yours are just a little bit better, just a smidge.
It's fun and it's cool. Like, if Jay continued with doing the trophies, you would now have 3 of the same exact trophies. Whereas, like, obviously the ADU is kind of evolving in the fact that it is becoming more popular. The field of racers is becoming much more competitive. Like, I think there was somebody from Bangladesh this year in the 24-hour.
Wow.
Bangkok. I don't know. I'm really bad with geography, but there was somebody maybe
Starts
from
with a B.
Russia. Yeah, this Belgium. But like
Impressive.
in the 24-hour, there were racers from like all around the world. So ADU is gathering more people, but Chris Cappellini has won the thing like every year.
The machine.
He's probably got so many of the same trophies, and now it's like, here, Chris, like here's a different one. Like,
I'm sure he loves and appreciates them just as much as I do, but
yeah.
I feel like in the coming years, once he gets to like 10 ADUs, like I know you get a special buckle for 5, but I feel like you should make him something. He's gonna go for 10, absolutely.
Yeah.
If he's not already there, I don't even know, but he deserves like some kind of placard, something to hang up.
Yeah,
that man is a machine.
He deserves an entire tree.
I joke about
Basically.
it with him. I'm like, should I just put your name on the back of this? Like
Already, like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know it's going right to him. What did he do this year? He did like 120 something, like in that heat and sun. The man is incredible.
I know.
What did you do? How did your race go this year?
I did my goal, I am notoriously a cranky runner. Like the lack of
You were not
sleep,
this
which
year.
is
You were
funny
the
'cause
happy runner.
that was my goal. I said to my crew chief, I was like, my goal is to, I don't remember if I was like, I want to smile the whole time, or I was like, I want to be happy the whole time. And then I was like, wait, scratch that. I don't want to be a bitch. Can I say that?
Yes, you can.
I don't want to be a cranky pants. Because like I always at some point just, I'm tired, I'm hot, I'm like not a super meanie, but I get cranky, I get short, I get irritable. And I was like, this year I want to be like happy. Like I don't know. I always do like a mileage goal or something like that. And I think that can kind of dissuade you from the love of running. And at a point it's like, all right, I've done 100 miles at ADU. Like, sure, it would be nice to get, I don't know, a course record. Like Kathy killed it this year.
Oh my God, yes.
Like she got like 105.
She did an extra lap, one more lap.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love seeing it.
And like that stuff is super cool, super incredible. But I feel like at some point it's like, I've run ADU a couple of times now for the 24-hour. And it's like, I have to stop chasing, like, I want another 100-miler, because it's really, really hard to do. And if you don't get it, you don't want to consider that race a loss. So I was like, I'm going to be happy the whole time. And I think I did it for the most part. My pacer might say otherwise, because I did. I think I told her to shut up at one point, but only because she was like calling me a badass. Like at one point towards like, I don't know, my second to last loop, I was hauling ass like a 7:30 mile, which I don't even do when I'm training. And she was like, you're such a badass. Look at you go. And I was just like, shut up. Because I just wanted the loop to be over. I was like, I'm only running this fast to be out of pain. Like,
those are literally the true feelings during an ultra like that. Like sometimes you just want to be done and you will do whatever it takes. But I get the irritability thing. I've yelled at this guy for a bunch of it, because I'm just
for much
get
less,
tired,
right?
and like it takes nothing.
You've never actually yelled at me.
I say yell, but I'm like, I get snippy. Like it happens, and
harsh words. It does happen.
I mean, I've seen you just give me straight up answers, or like, dude, no, I don't know. But you kind of have this. She does this thing when she's like 5 a.m. Okay, she'll just start talking and won't shut up. But like the good kind,
I'm the one who
she
won't
just
shut
tells
up.
me more and more some like stories and things.
Oh,
that
you must be like
so hard to
squirreling
get out of
away
her.
all of this crap. You're gonna like use it against me later someday.
No, well, to be honest, a lot of it is just you all over the place rambling, right? You're just
that's where
rambling
my
and
head
you're all over
goes.
the place. But yeah. And
Yeah,
so
I-
you kind of tell me some things, but then you go right to another topic.
But I have
And then you
yet to
come
do.
back.
I've yet to do the 24, so I don't know quite what that level
gets
of
really
tiredness is. So
there's So in that documentary that happened a couple years ago, they're like interviewing me after the race. And I remember at one point they had asked me a question. I don't recall. And I just talked for like 5 minutes. And then I was like, what was the question again? And I remember my friend and I rewatched this doc a couple months before ADU to like get pumped up. And it comes to that part where they're giving my after race interview. And I'm like, is that a turkey feather in my hair? Like, where did it come from? And like, that's the level of like, you're rambling. You don't, it just comes with like the lack of sleep and the running. And
nobody told you had a turkey feather in your hair.
No.
They must have been like, this is gold content. We got to keep it in here.
Yeah.
That's something you would do too.
So Hanna, we're a storytelling podcast, and we'll get right to your, like, Erica will ask you after this, what's your story? When did you start? But you're talking about
skipped right over that. We got right into the anchor down stuff, but
I don't want to go there yet. We're talking about the doc, and I want to hear the story about the documentary and the finish line.
The being unprepared. The whole doc was a really cool experience, but the whole time I was also kind of like, why do you want me to do this? Like, you know, like you have Paul and Chris who are these crazy people, and I'm just like, I'm just over here kind of like.
You were one of the very few women who have actually gone the 100-mile distance at Anchor Down. That is how incredibly difficult this race is in the heat of the summer. I mean, they don't make it easy for you. So being one of those legendary women, I applaud you, my friend, because that is incredible, incredible work. I'm terrified of that.
It was like a good day. It was at that whole thing. Like I get that people are like, holy shit, like you ran 100 miles at ADU in less than 24 hours. Like that's amazing. I'm like, yeah, that is really amazing. But I'm like, it's just, it's cool, but I feel like it gives me like this credential that I don't deserve because I'm like not. I don't know. I don't consider myself like a really good ultra runner. I just like fucking around in the woods and like I wore Crocs for like 3 of those laps at the 100-mile. Like I should not have gotten to 100 miles because I put those Crocs on and like.
That gives me hope, Hanna, because I did hamster wheel last year and I had like clogs on for some of them. They were like the UFOs clogs, which is basically the same thing. So if you can do it in Crocs,
yes,
there's hope for
possible.
Me too. Good.
Yes, because I remember I put them on and someone was like, my crew told me this after. They were like, oh, there was some woman in the crowd that was like, oh, that's a shame. She could have had it. When I put my Crocs on. And there was a girl this year that her name was Gwen. I think she got 75 miles. Oh, she's so cute, so sweet. She did a great job. And I saw her running, and she was she was walking in slides, and then she ran in them, and I was like, girl, I ran in Crocs a couple of years ago, and I got shit for it. So hell yeah. She ran in like in athletic slides. I was like, this is
breaking the stereotypes. You don't need Hokas.
Yes. Nope.
So that's when fantastic. They were recording the documentary, you ran across. So when they were recording that documentary, what were you wearing on your feet when you crossed the finish line?
I was wearing nothing. I was barefoot. In the chaos of, you know, the documentary people trying to get everything, and you know, you never know when somebody's going to cross the finish line in an ultra, because you could have a loop that takes 25 minutes and then you could have a loop that takes an hour. Or like last year I had a loop that took 4 hours. So they didn't know when I was going to cross the line. So I finished and they missed recording it. And I don't know where they were or what they were doing, probably paying attention to Chris doing something nuts or whatever. So I went back to my crew. I took my shoes off. I sat down. I started eating whatever they were feeding me. And they came over and asked me to get up and cross the finish line again so that they could get some footage for the documentary. And I don't know. I might have had to do it only 1 or 2 extra times, but even that 1 extra time was too much. So in the doc, it's not even my actual crossing the finish line. I have no shoes on. I am hobbling because I sat down and I like
They ruined your
thought I was
momentum.
done moving. Yeah, thought I was done moving for the next 48 hours or so. But I wasn't. So that's like, you know, you watch the doc and you think everything's like, wow, that looks so cool. Like, holy cow, these people are badass. I'm like, nah, no, like, not at all. I hated everything in that moment. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I just ran for like 22 hours, sat down, took my shoes off, and you want me to do it again. But I did, because I was like, okay, sure.
Oh my God. I feel for you. I've never had to do that, but I know that like once you sit down, that's like game over.
I know.
Those assholes.
Terribly.
But the documentary came out fantastic. I watched it too. We'll have to share it, Eric.
The doc is great.
Absolutely. I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah. All right, Hanna, we totally glazed over your initial, like, kind of how you got into running story. So do you want to share any of that with us?
Oh,
Or just your life,
you
where
could
you're
just
from,
get into,
like, what did you do growing up?
The real basics.
Yeah,
I played the
I
clarinet, whatever, you know?
Oh my God, I did play the clarinet. I'm
So
not
did
even kidding.
I.
I played the clarinet. Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My poor mom. Like, and like you had the reed that got all spitty, and then you had to like pull that tool thing with the little squeegee through your clarinet.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you play clarinet, Erica?
I can't say I did. I'm not musically inclined, sadly.
I was not either.
I didn't say we were good.
I could probably break out 3 Blind Mice on a recorder, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Hot cross buns, maybe.
That's more like it.
Yep.
That's like 3 notes. Anywho.
Yeah, literally.
Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? Give us all the juicy details of your life.
I live a pretty boring life. I mean, like, you know, when people are like, how do you get into running? I was like, I honestly I didn't make the volleyball team in high school. And I started cross country and I was not good. And I did track and I was okay. And then I stopped running until I graduated college and I was like, I'm getting chonky. So I started running again because I was like, I'm going to lose.
I know, college, I had like that, like you were 21, you're like senior year, and I like all I could do was eat and I could drink beers, and I was like, I had the time of my life, and then I was like, oh God, that freshman 15 stuck around, and yeah, so that was my deal too.
Yeah. And you're like, oh gosh, like you're not like, once you're in the big kid world and you're sitting at a desk all day and you're like, oh, yeah, all right. So I was like, I'm going to start running again. And I ran and I couldn't run a mile because I don't know. I was, it was hard. And then it just kind of escalated. I did a half marathon. I did 1 marathon and I hated it. And I hated it. I just hated that I had to run the whole time. And I just remember afterwards, my partner and I went to this hole-in-the-wall Chinese bar and got drunk. And I was like, what can I do next? So, of course, I Google, like, more marathon or whatever it was in my gin and tonic induced state. And I was like, cool, I can run for 6 hours. I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to run for 6 hours. And I signed up for ADU 6 hours.
So that's where it started. Was that your very first ultra, was the 6-hour ADU? Did you start from its very first year, like its very like inception year, or when did you start it?
I think I was the year after.
So that was what, like 2016, 17?
2016, I think. Yeah. I did the 6-hour. Then the next year I did the 12-hour. And then the year after that, I did the 24.
So you did the natural progression of it.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I've just been doing the 24 ever since, and being like, all right, like, let's fuck around and find out. Like, let's see what can happen. Like, you know, I think you'll get smarter, but you don't.
Well, that's one of our favorite phrases these days is fuck around and find out. I think you were saying
Yeah.
fool around and find out last time, and you were just trying to keep it PG.
I did.
Nah,
I did. What did I
Oh.
say that? Oh,
For
yeah,
John.
we're talking about John and his
his
girlfriend.
relationship.
Fool around and find
Fool
out.
around and find out.
Yeah. Ah.
That was my whole thing this year was
It's in a song. That's why it was in my head. It's in some song.
fool around
Now
or
I can't think about it. Damn. It's just somewhere I saw it. Probably just
We'll
on
figure it
Instagram or
out.
TikTok.
We'll put that on the side note. We'll Google later.
Well, that was like my whole thing for ADU this year was my sister had
Fool
sent
around,
me
fuck around and find out. That was your whole thing? I'm just
no. It was shake my tiny fist. There was like my sister follows this really cute like Instagram account called like Zeppelin Moon or something, and she sent me one of their posts, and it was this little sloth, and it was like a saying that like he wants to shake his tiny fist, like, you know, fall down, get back up again, show why you assholes, why, admire his wings, and do it all over again. And I had said to my crew, I was like, that's what I want to do. Because when my sister sent that to me, I was like, that it resonated with me. And I was kind of like, if that's not like ultra running, what is? Like, you're so mad that you're running for 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours. You're like, I hate this. This sucks. Technically, you did it to yourself. But, you know, down, you get back up. Like, you're just trying to survive. And at the end of it, you admire what you did. And then you're like, all right, yeah, let's do that again. So that was my ADU 2023. I have a little reusable cup. And each year we write a quote on it from ADU. And that this year's was shake my tiny fist.
Love it.
So, yeah.
It is a cute account. I'm looking for it. It reminds me of Eric Carlisle. Do you know who Eric Carlisle is?
Yes,
The little
because
Yes.
I eat
caterpillar
very hungry
book
caterpillar.
Yeah. I haven't thought of him in
Yeah.
a long
the
time.
drawings.
Very
well, I have
hungry
kids, that's why it's-
caterpillar.
Yes.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
drawings remind me of that. And I'm trying to find the
Yeah,
one.
like
I'll find it later. But yeah, Eric, I just sent you the profile. So
I'll look later.
yeah.
It's super cute, but very
Zeppelin
whimsical. Yeah, very very whimsical, very funny. Sometimes you're just like, what is even happening? Like, I reposted one the other day that was like, socks are for losers, and I was like, no offense if everybody likes socks, but I am notoriously a barefoot person,
hate
so socks
socks.
are for losers.
I won't.
Yeah.
I don't know if
You-
I'll go barefoot, but I love like flip flops, sandals, just like letting my feet breathe. Maybe it's just because I have very, very sweaty feet. That's probably really gross, and nobody needs to know that. But socks suck.
It's fine.
So are you no socks when you run in your sneakers or?
No, I'm not that psycho. No.
Not that psycho.
No, Crocs only. But I didn't wear socks with my Crocs. So I'm not, so I was barefoot in my Crocs, but I wear socks when I run. But I go through them really fast. I wear features and like, I don't know if I just run weird, but like I always get a little hole in my big toe.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then my mom told me, she was like, you know, features have like a lifetime replacement policy. And I was like, I bet you features takes the used socks and then like sell them.
God, Hanna.
I know.
I was
I bet
gonna say,
features.
I'm like,
sorry,
are you-
features.
There's some weird people out there. We've talked about
We
this
have
before.
talked about it. If you're gonna take them up on their like free like replacement offer, they're gonna go out of business.
Yeah, I know. I was like, all right, I'll just throw them out, I guess.
Erica is an ambassador for a sock company, Pro Compression.
Pro compression,
And
yeah,
when
those
she-
long socks. Yep.
Yeah, when she first became an ambassador, something clicked in the algorithm, and all these dudes,
The weirdos come
know,
out
like-
of the woodwork. Oh my god.
it would be like user 456 ABC, whatever, weird names, would reach out, DM. They would slide into her DMs, and they would say, "Hey, if I pay you, X amount of dollars, will you send me your sweaty socks?"
That could have been a really lucrative business. Like I'm kind of
Yes.
sad I didn't take people up on
Yeah.
that. They're like, I'll give you $300 for like dirty socks, and I was like,
You
kind of, but
have
no,
my
like it was gross.
attention.
Like, I don't want to be that person. Like that's
I have a friend who always says feet aren't free. So
Only fans, only feet.
yeah.
Jesus.
So that's when it started at the Anchor Down 6-hour race is kind of the first big one outside of the marathon that you hated. What was after that?
After the 86 hour?
Because you have a lot of medals back there behind you. Like, where have you earned all those?
Honestly, yeah, I don't know. I guess there's some ultras I'm like, where did those
He's
come
gonna
from?
look
Those
at
aren't mine.
your ultra sign up. He's gonna go stalking
I'll
you.
tell you.
I really only run Anchor Down now. I ran Ethan Allen a couple of times, but I haven't even done that many ultras, which is weird when people are like, wow, you're a pretty decent ultra runner. And I'm like, oh, dude, I don't do much.
Just like
I
to
run on my own a lot. Yeah. I just and sometimes I'm just I break it down. I'm like, all right, if I'm going to run this race, how much am I paying per mile? Because there's some really cool races out there, but I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to pay $300 to run whatever 50 miles. I'm like, that's silly. I'm going to go in my backyard and do it. I don't need your medal or your aid station. I got to,
Is that how
I got a boyfriend for that.
Is that how you do most of your training? You'll just I have such a hard time with those long distances. If I don't have a friend who wants to run those miles with me, I am finding any excuse in the book to say, no, I'm not going to do it. So the other day I had a 33 miler to do. And it luckily lined up where I found a 50K up in Maine to do. But if I didn't have that, I was probably going to crap out and not do it. So you will actually do it on your own. Is there a special place that you like to go, or are we talking literally around your backyard? Are you one of those people? Backyard also.
Yeah, actually right behind my house is a new development, and it's perfectly a quarter mile. So I will go back there and just run in circles.
Oh, that's so many circles.
Maybe not for some miles, but I'm that's a nice little thing. But yeah, I do a majority of my training alone, which can get super lonely sometimes because the ultra community is so friendly and so nice, and they're always willing to run with you, or you make friends at races and then stalk them on social media and whatever. But I mostly run by myself, and if I have a long run, sometimes I'll just be I'm gonna run to this point, and then I'll have a friend or my partner come pick me up, and I'll be all right, I'll run to the brewery and I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
That's probably a better idea.
Yeah, I was running. We have this brewery called Black Hat Brew Works, which is 13 miles away from me. So every weekend I would run there, and I started doing this thing where I was picking up nips along the way, plastic nips that people threw out.
Oh, you're what do they call it? Plogging? You're I don't know. It's a
plogging.
I'll have
He's
to
a nip
Google
collector,
that,
just like our last guest, the penny collector.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll keep going. I'll Google that later.
Yeah. So I run point to point. I run there, or I'll just, when you're struggling with a really long run, you just make it fun. How many nips can I pick up? So I'm yeah, I don't mind running for 4 hours if I'm stop. I'm ooh, cool. This time I got 400 nips, and my best friend
That's
is
a lot of nips to carry.
Yeah, and it's
where do you hide those?
I literally went on Amazon. I went on Amazon and I ordered those sports bags that people put their smelly sport equipment in. That's mesh bags, and I would drop them off along the way on my point to point run, and my friend would drive and pick them up.
Oh wow!
And yeah, and then we would dump them all out, and then we would collect data on them. So we have a spreadsheet of my long run nips, my And we have like a list of all the different flavors that I picked up and how many of each flavor and the date that I picked them up.
That is
Like,
crazy. So
so that makes my long runs fun.
But you're
collecting trash.
You're finding that many nips. Like, will you pick up any other trash too, or is it strictly the nips?
I strictly went to nips because it would get out of hand real fast. And when I started doing it, I only had my hydration pack, and I found that I could fit a lot of them like in little nooks and crannies. You know what I mean? I smelt like a booze hound. Like,
It's not my fault.
So
it's
bad.
there.
Yeah, like it smelled pretty bad. But it was strictly nips because it was just, I saw so many of them, and they are everywhere. And the thing is that I would typically run the same long route every weekend, Saturday and then Sunday, and I would come back the next week, run the same route, and there was nips everywhere. It's crazy. Rumple mints. You ever had that?
Yep.
I never have, but that is the number one nip that I found.
People need to do better. Find a trash can. I know they're probably like, we can't have this in the car though. Gotta get rid of it. Like, don't drink in the car. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rumple Mints is not that good, by the way. If I had to choose like a minty drink, it would probably be the Dr. McGillicuddy's if I had to choose.
Yeah.
But,
I didn't even know what it was. I had never heard of it. And I was like, when we were categorizing all these different things, and I was like, what is Rumple Mint? Like, what? Why is this a thing? Apparently it's minty. And I was like, okay, fun. Yeah.
Very weird.
So now we have a gigantic trash bag of empty nips.
Oh, you got to do something cool with it.
But what?
Art?
Because they're disgusting.
Well, first you got to throw them all in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
They're going to melt.
Give
They're
them all a wash.
plastic, right? They're going to melt.
Yeah.
Probably.
And some of them are like...
All right, you got to hand wash them all.
Mushed
Get one of those little things that you clean straws with.
Like a baby bottle
those reusable
thing?
straws. Right. Baby bottle cleaners. Wash every one. You got to do some display. I mean, you put a week's worth of work into they could be like the award for like second and third podium finishers at Anchor Down.
Third place. Here's my trash creation.
That could be the DFL, the DFL, whoever.
Yeah.
That would make people feel bad. I don't know.
I DFL'd once and I was so happy about it.
Well, there we go. We can brainstorm some ideas for.
I feel really stupid here. I feel like it has to do with DNF, but what's a DFL?
Do you want to take it?
Dead fucking last.
Dead fucking last.
Yeah. You are the last. But I feel like that's difficult at ADU because if you're the last one, that's technically good. Because 2 years in a row, I ran till like the last second. I had like 2 minutes left. And I'm like, hey, if you're dead fucking last,
so
technically
that is hard.
Place.
That is hard when it comes to those timed races, but we'll figure something out. Maybe we could donate it to another race.
Technically, DFL is dead fucking last, like your last place. But like Erica was saying, for a timed race, that's difficult because if you're dead last, that's good because you're using up the entire clock,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at Anchor Down, you'd be the last one to finish.
Time-wise, yeah.
So maybe we could make it into like a Stanley Cup looking nip tower for the one who ran out the clock the most.
I like
that would actually be cool.
Hockey.
Well, we've been talking hockey a lot lately, so
I'm gonna have to text Jay and be like, Jay, how do you feel about nips?
I feel like
right now, Jay, send us a DM. Tell us how you feel. We'll start a poll. Everyone, how do you feel about nips as an award? A dirty nip too.
Yeah,
a dirty, stinky, smelly nip.
And my ADU socks from last year will just go right on top of it.
From over. Cherry on top.
Yeah.
We've officially
off the rails.
Officially talked about nips more than bloody nips.
That's one thing I've never experienced is the bloody nips.
Oh my god, we
All
went running the other day.
Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, we went running the other day with Steve, and at the end, I didn't even notice during the run. Just when we stopped, it's like, oh, Steve looked like what's the guy's name from The Office? Michael.
Scott.
Michael Scott, when Michael Scott had the bloody nips draining from his t-shirt after the 5K, Steve looked like Michael after it.
He ate
And
the
it was like,
plate of
whoa,
fettuccine
what
Alfredo.
happened? And he goes, oh yeah, my nips bleed.
Poor guy.
Oh my God.
That's
He
very, very,
put like Band-Aids
very uncomfortable.
on them.
What's up? Oh, I think
It
he
was-
did put Band-Aids or like something, and I think he lubes them up too, but I don't know.
He
It
said
just
something
gets him.
didn't work or whatever.
Yeah,
Raw.
they failed him.
Dang.
It's all right. It's all right. We named him Mr. 305, like Pitbull, so he's cool. We like Steve. He's a
We do
big
like
friend of
Steve.
the pod. He'll get a crack out of us talking about him right now. So that'd be cool. Steve's the man, and he's a twin dad just like me. All right. So I asked you about some races. So I got one lined up here, ready to go. Tell me about your first 50 miler. If your first marathon sucked, how did your first 50 miler go? It was the Stone Cat Trail Race.
Yeah, that was fun. I don't remember much about it. It was very cold. I remember that some dude gave me a Reese's cup when I had like, I don't know, maybe 7 miles to go, and that thing saved my life. And I still have that Reese's cup wrapper.
Oh,
It's like in my shoes up there. I put it in there. I keep the weirdest things from my races. Stone Cat no longer does a 50 miler, I think.
what do they do for
But-
races?
I think they only have the marathon and 50K now, maybe.
Isn't our new buddy Art from the Cultura Trail Running podcast doing Stone Cat this year? I think it's the same weekend
Where
as
is-
Hamster Wheel, and I think he said he couldn't do that one because he's doing
Yes.
Stone Cat. That's like November,
You're
right? Does
It's
that
in
sound
November, right?
November.
That's got to be
Yeah.
it.
Was it in the Catskill Mountains?
No, it's in Ipswich. Wait, Art that
Oh.
ran the BCT, Art?
Maybe Art Byram.
I think it.
Does that sound right? I think it's like Art fucking
don't know.
Byram. Like, I don't know. He's one of our new friends. So you must know Celeste though. Celeste Fong. She's done Anchor Down a bunch. She had like purple and blue hair this year too. Like, I'm trying to.
Okay,
It's perfect.
is the
It's
thing.
perfectly split. Purple on one
Yes.
side, blue on the other.
and she's super duper cheerful.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
here's my problem with Anchor Down. I do know her, but I did not know her by her name. This is what happens is that I end up, and I feel like such a little jerk because people will say like, oh my gosh, you're Hannah, right? And I'll be like, yeah, Hanna, but yeah. And they'll
Oh, we gotta
start,
talk about that.
telling me-
Keep going. We're going to talk about that.
They'll start telling me like a story like this EDU running along and this kid was like Hanna, right? And I was like, oh yeah, like
You're a
hello.
local celebrity.
He told me that last year he was running the 6 hour and he was really, really sick and he was like in a really down spot and like not having a good time. And I guess I like stopped and I walked with him and like I talked to him and like kind of like gave him some advice or something. And then like I went on my merry little way and he was like, I can't remember if he was, I don't even know his name. I feel so bad. But he was either doing the 6 or the 12 and like I gave him a little pep talk. And then I saw him this year and he was either doing the 12 or the 24. Like he had bumped up in distance and he felt sick again. And he was like, I don't feel good. But last year you talked to me and like we walked together and blah, blah, blah. And I gave him a little bit more advice on what to do because he wasn't feeling good. And I was like, hit the reset button, like have some water, whatever. But so these people will talk to me or say something or tell me a story or whatever. And I just like, I won't get their names. And I'll be like, I know this person. Like I'll see him. I'm like, oh, this person had the purple shorts. Or like Celeste. I was like, of course I knew her hair. Like I saw her a bunch of times. Or like, you know, there was I forget his name too. I called somebody the Virgin because last year and the year before he had like paced his friend through the 24 and now he was running the 24 for the first time. Again, don't remember his name, but I was like, oh, the Virgin, cool. Like, how are you doing? Like, but you just see these people over and over again. And like, yeah, I'm really bad with names or I'm just a little butthead, but like,
That's
You know,
part, that's
so-
just part of it though. Like half the time, like, it's dark for most of the race. Like, you don't even get to really see people out there. So, I mean, plus you're focused, and I totally get it. It's hard to, plus being tired. I'm giving you all the excuses because I feel them too.
It's the same with Erica because people might not know her name, but they know her as the runner with the sparkly skirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. And it's like people won't know your name. So if they see you like on Facebook commenting on something or whatever, like I've seen your name a bunch of times on the ADU post, but I did not put you as this social media person together with you as Sparkle Skirt, Ultra Barbie.
Right.
Like, so it's like you're two different people. There's your ultra persona or your like ultrasona. Like, you know how people have personas?
Yeah.
It's like an ultra persona. And then there's like your real life person personality. So it's like, yeah, you meet these people, but you don't actually, you meet them for those 12 hours or those 24 hours or whatever. And then you may never talk to them again until the next ADU or the next race or whatever. Yeah.
That reminds me of the volunteers. Some of our favorites are Zach and Ainsley and Tammy. They did like the 1 a.m. to like 9 a.m. shift, and I didn't know their names, so we were calling Zach Juice Box Guy because he kept shoving juice boxes in my hand, and it that saved my race. But I mean, the nicknames you give people are half the time better, and it keeps you preoccupied. You're like, yeah, Juice Box Guy, you're awesome. So.
They do, yeah. There was a guy at North Point. I have no idea what. Maybe his name's Steve. I don't know, but we kept exchanging jokes, and I would tell him the start of a joke, and then I'd run a loop, and then I would tell him like the punchline of a joke, and I'd run a loop. I don't know his name, but I was like, yeah, I gotta like do another loop because I gotta tell this guy. Like,
was it this year? Because I feel like Steve was one of them. Because I go like, hey, what's up? I'm Barbie, and he goes, oh, I'm Alan, and I was like, Alan, and he's like, no, I'm Steve, and I was like, wait a second. He like gets screwed with my head. Like, I'm like, what is your actual name? So I feel like that's the same guy. He had that personality that was just like, yes, you're fun. I'm gonna seeing you every half.
I think he also saw me throw up Burger King chicken nuggets twice.
Oh shit!
And gave me a good thumbs up about it. And I was like, hell yeah.
That's a good.
You had a story. Yeah, you had a story. You told me about you puking or something when there's like just normal people driving around Colt State Park, and they're like,
damn.
Oh my God, who's this random person puking all over the park?
I have no, so I've like never thrown up during running. Like I've never pushed myself that hard. For like the last 3 years at ADU, I have thrown up, and it's always like just weird. Like when I did the 100-miler, the person I was running with, Dave, who is also a volunteer now at ADU, he was like, hit the reset button. I was like, okay. I had eaten a full pint of blueberries, which don't do it. So I hit the reset button. A lot of blueberries. Hit the reset button, threw them all up, made blueberry jam, crossed the line, and then my pacer was I had met her online. I'd never met this woman in my life. She had never run an ultra, like had never paced an ultra, had never run anything like longer than a 20-miler. She picked me up, got ready to pace me, and I was like, hey, I just threw up a pint of blueberries, so this is not going to be good. Like, this year, I ate an 8-pack of chicken nuggets from Burger King. And I had like been struggling with eating for whatever reason. I think it was because I ate like the equivalent of like 3 apples or something. I was, don't eat fruit. I don't know whatever. So I'm like, running along, and I'm telling my pacer, I'm like, I don't like feel that great. Like, I don't know if this is going to go well. And at ADU, there's a part after you're running next to the ocean where you go up this little hill, which is like Mount Everest. And then you cross the road, and then you're on the grass median, and then you cross the road again. And it just happened at that time. We're walking up that hill, and I was like, Liz, that's my pacer. I was like, this is happening, girl. And she's like, all right, let's go. So in the median, we cross the road. I get on my hands and knees, and I just throw up like 4 chicken nuggets. And like this Colt State Park is open. It is an active park and there are people driving. It's a beautiful day. People are driving in and out of this park and they just see this girl, you know, no shirt. I have a sports bra, but no shirt. I'm in these purple shorts that have cows and chocolate milk on them. And I'm on my hands and knees throwing up Burger King chicken nuggets. And I might have been Steve, who's the crossing guard at that point, or it was somebody else who was equally comfortable with this, because I look up at him and I'm like, hey, how do I look? And there's like drool coming from my face. Like there's bits of chicken nugget in my teeth. And he was like, all right, cool. So I got up, crossed the road that he was like the crossing guard of, got down the other side and I was like, oh, it's happening again. And then I threw up the rest of my chicken nuggets again while cars are going by. And I'm like, you know what? This is me in my natural habitat. Like, I have some friends that call me a gremlin. And I'm like, yeah, I am a gremlin. This is my gremlin moment.
Man.
This is not a hot girl summer. This is a gremlin girl era. Like,
oh my God. Oh, Hanna. I feel bad that happened, but it's a great story.
Oh no, it was hilarious. Like, and that's the thing is that like, I think the best thing about ultra running is that you lose all humility of yourself. Like, I have told complete strangers the last time I pooped because I'll be like, hey, I haven't pooped in 4 hours. Like, should I be concerned? Like, you know, like you just lose. It's just
we're all in the same boat. Everybody's got the same thought. So it's you found your people. Like ultra runners are your people.
Right. I'm like, if I can like pick you up around mile 50 and we can like share some miles together and talk about what our body parts are chafing most. And then like I remember on my first 6 hour, you know, I'm a little ultra baby and I was 24, maybe 24. I don't know. I was young. I was considered young for the ultra, you know, ultra runners are usually 30 plus. I think the majority is like 40 plus. So I was like this little ultra baby, no idea, didn't lube my butt crack. Did not do it at all. And so I'm like, you know, running along. I meet up with these, again, don't know their names, these 2 wonderful women who were doing a bunch of ultras together. I think they wanted to do like one in every state. I will never see them again in my life. And they asked how I was doing, you know, the typical race chatter. What are you doing? Like, how many races? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, this is my first one. And they're like, how are you feeling? And I was like, it's a little painful. Like, I'm all right. And they're like, oh, like, did you lube? And I was like, no. And they literally, we finished the loop together and this woman literally gave me her squirrel nut butter and was like, you put this everywhere. And I was like, okay. I found out after it was too late, too little, too late. But I was like, these are the kind of people you need in your life. The ones that are like, you know what? Lube your butt crack. Like, if my not tell me to lube my butt crack, I do not want you.
All right, listeners, super important lessons here. Lube your butt crack.
Oh my, that is when people are doing their first long distance. That is the one I learned my lesson. It was not, I mean, I kind of learned my lesson, but that's what I was, more lube, 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 lube,
Yep.
lube, more.
Lube your butt crack.
Yeah.
Or else your poop is going to hurt.
If you're going to use Body Glide always goes on before. Do not try that afterwards because that is the worst pain. It is indescribable how painful that is because that's like not the all natural shit. That's like the shit that's going to burn.
No.
Your skin's going to fall.
I switched to bag bomb and it's like, we look like we own a farm because we go into CVS or like Farmer Supply and it's like, yeah, I want the huge tub of bag bomb. Oh, look at this tiny cute one that I can carry on the go in my pocket.
Just
like,
refill it. There we go.
Yeah, and then you're like, well, you need the bag bomb for your body, and then you need the bag bomb that's specifically for your unmentionables. Like, you need multiple containers. Don't give me the butt bag bomb. I need the body bag bomb. Like,
making notes. I'm gonna look this stuff up. Oh, she likes the Desitin, right?
Yeah, well, we mentioned Celeste and Art, right? And when we were on their pod, they told us, so Desitin or any type of baby diaper rash cream I'm a fan of after, if you chafe, put it on where you chafed when you go to bed, and it's better the next day. They told me a little insider tip that I'll share with you. They said if you do like a 50-50 split of diaper rash cream, which comes on thick, and Vaseline, the first poop is free. You can shit your pants and you don't have to worry about
I like
chafing.
that. I like that a lot.
They have some good knowledge over there Culture Trail Running Podcast. All I know is Celeste, Art, and Fred were the ones who like normally do it, and we got to meet. They run. Well, she was at Anchor Down, yeah.
Regan, as well.
But I don't know if she's a regular on the show. But they do ultras constantly, and so they just have I was picking up like
All
little
the
niblets of knowledge too, because I still haven't done very many of these. Like I've done 4 or 5, but
yeah,
the more knowledge, the better.
People do them like every weekend, and I'm like, kudos
John.
to you.
We just talked to this guy, John, who does he'll do 100 milers like every weekend. He's friggin' batshit, but we love you.
How do you afford that though? Like, I'm like, do you know how, like, gosh, I gotta eat, man. Like, I can't. That's why I do my backyard ones. I'm like, all right.
Well, we learned. Have you ever heard of a fat ass? Have you ever heard of a fat ass?
Yeah, doesn't Tark do those? Is it Tark?
Probably the trail animals, right? So I'm new to this. Like, I totally don't know who around here does that. But if anybody, it's probably them. Patrick would know. Patrick Karen.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick would know.
Yeah, and you like bring food like a potluck.
Yeah, like a potluck.
So fun. We gotta find something around here. I gotta write that down again.
Yeah, I have heard of those a couple of times. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should do that because I would love to race more. And like, it's so hard with training to be like, I'm only training for one event. And people who aren't familiar with ultras would be like, oh, how long have you been training for this race? And I'm like, dude, like 7 months. And if you're putting in all that time training, you should be able to like stack. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm doing like 3 within 3 months because I just put in a buttload of time like trying to get here.
Yep, that's kind of what I did this year. Yeah,
you know what, you two have something in common with Courtney
Not
Dauwalter.
hundreds,
if you did
though.
3 or more, you did the hat trick.
She's
Oh well, Hanna, were you talking hundreds?
I've never done 100-miler. That's on my to-do list. I want to run like a legit.
She's run 100,
Wait a
but
second.
not at a. Not,
when you did
not
the
like
20,
a fixed distance, right? You did the timed, so
yeah,
I still count it.
I did.
I still count it.
I count it too. I still think it's 100. So Anchor Down, how many 24s have you done?
Maybe 5.
And have you hit 100 every time?
No, I've only hit it once. So freaking
just
hard.
The one time in the doc, the documentary was. So you
no,
did
the
it
doc I didn't even hit 100. I hit 100 in 2019. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like, it's so hard, at least for me. But I think it's because, and Chris literally says this in the doc where he's like, Hanna could be a much better runner. And he's right, because I am the laziest 100-miler you will ever meet. Like, people are like, wow, you must have a crazy diet. You must run a ton. And I'm like, this last ADU, I think I got away with running maybe like 100 and something miles a month once. If you look at my Garmin or my Strava, it's like I did 1 mile in December. And I think literally 1 mile. And between like December and March, I don't think I went above like 50 miles a month. I've only hit 100 once, and it's because I'm lazy and I like put in the work, but I don't put in the work that like a lot of runners do. Like, I kind of feel bad because I'm like, I kind of like get lucky. I put in the work and it's hard, but I'm not out there like, I know people who are logging like 70-mile weeks for marathons, not even ultra marathons. And I'm like, dude, no, chill out. You know what I like to do? back-to-back long runs, and then I'll like, I don't know, like 5 miles once or twice during the week.
Hanna, you're my people. You are my people.
I don't know. I just like,
I'm
you know,
captain. What can I do to get out of this run? That's why I'm like, all right, if somebody keeps me accountable, that's how I'm going to do it. So,
yeah.
that is the way.
So you're Hanna.
Yes.
Hanna, not
Yeah.
Hannah. It's Hanna.
No.
My sister is Hannah, and she spells it the same way as you. So does my sister pronounce her name wrong? Do you pronounce your name correct? How did your parents decide on Hanna? And you're like, you said earlier before we recorded, you're kind of, it's like Han Solo. You're Hanna Solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Hanna is technically, like, I went to Iceland and everybody said my name correctly. I went to Hawaii and everybody said my name correctly. So it's like I don't know why it's a Hawaiian thing, but it's apparently like a very European name. Like in Iceland, they're like, oh yeah, Hanna. And I'm like, the heck? Because, and I blame this also on Hannaford's, the grocery store, because I think it's actually Hannaford's, because I think Hannaford's is like from, I don't know, Europe or Germany or something. But Hanna is like German, Icelandic, Swedish, and they will pronounce it like Hanna. And Hannah is a very Americanized version. And my mom literally named it, I think, to rhyme with my sister, who is Brianna. So I think she was just like, Brianna and Hanna would sound weird. So I'm Hanna. Like, thanks, Mom, because my life is ruined. Like, there are people that I have known for like a decade who will still say Hanna. And actually at ADU this year, the announcer, wonderful woman, like did a great job. Like she was very enthusiastic. But
I just ran into her.
Did you?
But keep going. I did. She was doing it at my triathlon in the middle of New Hampshire. She gets around.
Job? Did she make a job out of that?
She must have.
Yeah, apparently.
What? Okay, that's cool. First of all, I'm in the wrong industry.
I finished the triathlon, and I'm like, her voice sounds so familiar, and she's standing right next to me. I go, were you at Anchor Down last week? And she goes, yeah.
That's because you were listening to her for 12 hours.
I know.
I know. I go, I was supporting Ultra Barbie. She goes, oh, I loved her. She was amazing. She does live in Rhode Island. So I think she stays in Rhode Island, but they were doing timing for Trek, Trek events or whatever. The company that put on, the race director who put on the race I did.
Wow. I
can't remember her name, but I was like, oh, you're so awesome.
She is. I don't know how she keeps enthusiasm like that for so long. But she said my name wrong.
Oh, did she?
Oh, she says your name wrong. That's right. That's where.
Like,
that's
for
how
like
I got on
5 loops. And I remember saying to my crew, I'm like, well, I would be a total asshole if I correct her on my name. But I was like, but I can't do this for 24 hours, especially towards the end game where I'm like turning cranky. I'm like, I'm going to turn around at this woman at like hour 20 and be like, it's fucking Hanna. So I was like, I'm just gonna tell her now. So I did, and she was like, oh my gosh, I totally knew that. But like everybody calls me Hanna because that's just because of your sister, probably.
I was trying not to, because I remember, like, you were there my first year, and I remember Jay, I think he was talking about you, or maybe it was last year with the nice awards, and he made sure to say your name, right? So I'm like, I know it, it's Hanna. So I got to keep making it. It's like a double check, though. I'm like, I don't want to fuck it up. I don't want to. I'm not going to do it.
That's why you should say like Han Solo.
There you go.
We're gonna have to make a T-shirt. We'll make an OTR T-shirt. We could do this one day, right?
And
that T-shirt can say, "That's right, Han HAN." Spelling it out with the pronunciations. We'll have to make that T-shirt for you. We'll bring it to Anchor Down. I got a Cricut machine now.
Oh no!
It's gonna happen now. So maybe your crew can wear it.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. Talk about your crew. Who is your crew when you do these races?
So my crew chief is my best friend, Joe. They have been crewing me for like a while. Like they have seen me in some real shitty like you were talking about yelling during ultras. One time I was doing a 12-hour track ultra, and I didn't want to eat a Milano cookie that Joe was trying to get me to eat, and I yelled in this tiny little track, "I don't want to eat the fucking cookie!" I was like,
slap it out of
poor person. Yeah, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I'm terrible. So I have Joe, and then my family come all the time, and my partner. Joe and my partner do the overnights usually. They keep me alive. Joe is the one that keeps track of my nip collection, and the coolest thing is like this dude gets all the data, all the data. It is so neat. Like we have the amount of times that I like pooped or peed. Like that's like I will literally like that's like.
Eric, have we reached that level of friendship yet? No, we got some work to do. Okay.
We just don't have a spreadsheet yet, but we can work on it.
Yeah, I literally will. I'll be like, hey, it pooped. It was a good one.
You know how in Reach the Beach in the Ragnar races they put the kill counts?
Yeah.
You could do poop counts.
We'll do that this year.
The
we
code
got
ground
that.
count.
Yeah,
Poop
it's
count.
important, especially when you're running for that long. Like I had a year where I didn't pee. I think it was last year. I didn't pee for like 11 hours, and I was like drinking liquids. Yeah, I got KO'd a little bit last year. I had like a 4-hour lap because wasn't peeing. Yeah, so I tell Joe now every time I pooped, and I even like during my regular runs, God love them, because I don't know how many of my poop selfies they have. Like when I'm on a long run, everybody's been there, and you're like,
I need some.
Yep, here we go. And I will find a spot, and I'll squat down and just take a little selfie, and I send it to Joe. I'm like,
Get it.
yeah. So and every time they'll make a comment on, like I traveled to Ohio and in a cornfield. So I was like,
nobody's gonna find you in there, so you're good. You got the coverage.
Somebody is gonna be, peeling the corn off there and be like, "Oh shit, I got the shitty one." Husking the corn.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, so I'm like, they probably have an entire album on their phone of just like, like Betty's.
We need the photos for the Instagram. That will be our episode photo.
And I look so happy in all of them. And every time they're like, they will. So when I do my really hot point to points in the summer, they will meet me halfway and like refill water and stuff like that. And all the time they'll text me before they leave their house, need a baby wipe, because I'll like text them like, hey, I made it to the, the 6 mile mark, and then I had to poop in this person's backyard. Like, shit. Terrible. I was terrible. Like and this is the thing. I'm like, if I can't talk to you about this, like, do you really like want to be on my crew? Like, Joe has touched my feet, has lubed my butt crack, has counted the times I've pooped, have like I.
They're keepers. They're keepers.
Yeah, and 100%. And I tell that to like, that's the thing where people will say like, how can you do these things? And for me, half of it is like, I do some of the work, but if I didn't have my crew, I would be like not having fun, and it's, they keep you alive. And also they keep other people alive, because since I hit this point where I'm like, people know me from the dock and stuff. Mm-hmm. Random people will come up to me and start asking for advice or whatever. And I'll be like, hey, go to my crew. Like, we have a 5-hour energy. Like, Joe can pop your blisters. Like, so I will send random people, and I'll be like, look for the tall person. They're probably wearing a hat and a red sweatshirt. Like, tell them I sent you. And like, Joe has popped like random people's blisters. Like, I have given away so many of like my bag bomb or like 5-hour energies or whatever, because I'm like, well, this person needs them. I'm like, here, go tell my crew. Like, yeah, it's like,
that's fantastic. Are you going to be there next year? Because I got to meet like everybody in that same setting. So if you guys are there, you let us know.
They'll be there. Like, we got a whole little, Joe's got like an entire rollable bag that like, they got the diabetic testing strips.
Mhm.
Is that what it is? So that you, when you poke your finger and take insulin, because they read that it's a perfect way to pop blisters. So they like they went out and got these, and it is. They did it to my feet this year after the race, and like you don't even know, perfect way to pop blisters.
Never would have thought of
I didn't even know. Yeah,
Diabetic strips, huh?
Yeah, the little testing pokey things.
Okay.
Yeah, good for blisters.
So smart.
Erica, your next blister, don't pop it. Wait, we're going to go get one of these strips and we're going to content.
You have to buy it beforehand.
I will stock up because I have 100 coming up in like 2.5 weeks, and I will make sure to have plenty of those.
Close.
It's so close.
Do you want to borrow Joe?
Joe, you want it? Well, it's in Virginia. How is he willing to travel? I have my boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm going to drag him around. Hopefully he can find something to do.
Joe, name your price.
Oof.
Right? Like, they could literally make like a killing off this. I'm like, you know how many people want, like, you'll touch my feet. Like,
it's hard to find
on.
somebody who will do that. Like, I don't even want to touch my own feet when they're like gross and disgusting, especially blistery and a rare breed, a very rare breed.
Yeah. Like,
if you're looking for a guy like Joe, you can find him at onlyfeet.com. We'll set it up. We'll get the website going and rolling, and we'll sell socks on it too. Dirty socks.
my features.
We could make this could be something. This could be something, girls.
Oh, good Lord. You can be the brains behind it, and I'll just run, and you can have my socks after. I don't care. It's the easy part. I'll do all the exercise. Because you code, right? You could make us a website. There you go.
I could.
That's right.
We got a whole team, you guys. Oh, this episode turned.
We now have a new business idea, guys.
Ooh, stay tuned for... Yeah, no, don't.
Tell us about what you do for work, actually, because didn't you have a job and you quit that job to start coding, but you didn't know how to code. You just kind of figured it out on your own, right? And I think, is it your own business?
So, yeah, COVID, man. I have a business degree. So I like went to school, did that whole thing. COVID came around. I was miserable at my job. I really had no idea what I was doing with my life. You know, that whole midlife crisis at the age of 29 or whatever. And yeah, I quit my full-time job, and I have a mentor who I actually met running a Ragnar. Met him online. They needed one more person for their Ragnar team, and I was like, here I go. So I met them through running, and they were like, I will mentor you in software development. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I spent 2 years using all online free resources and meeting with my mentor and becoming a software developer. And we started our freelance business, Greenfield Development. We both have full-time jobs, which I got mine last October. And then I poached my mentor. I got hired by this company. And I was like, hey, we need a senior developer. Do you want to come work with me? So now I work full-time with my mentor, and we do our freelance business on the side. And we are actually working on a mobile app that, like, just for fun, that we want to turn into, like, for crews and for runners when they're doing ultras, to keep track of like what you're doing.
Of your poops and your peas.
Yes, there is.
Oh, yes.
There's a poop and a pee part too. But like just keeping track of everything you're doing, like the calories you're drinking, like making any like changes, like you change your socks there, or like, oh, their right knee hurts, or oh, they haven't pooped in 5 hours. Like, so we're working on a mobile app to do something like that. Yeah.
Can the poop chart be brought to you by On the Runs?
Yeah.
We will totally
sponsor
that.
You?
Fuck yes.
Yeah, can we pay you to sponsor it or something? Do
Yeah.
you need an investor?
Yeah. Oh, like on the runs poop chart. Like you'll have to like do like different grades though of like, you know, the poop chart. Like there is an actual poop chart. Did you know that?
I think I did. Isn't
I'm
it
not
like
surprised.
I forget what it's called, but it like has all the different like
Here's a
shapes
weird-
and colors and
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
And like doctors and scientists actually use it, and there's like a name for the different
I've seen
consistencies.
this.
I have too.
Yes,
One of
I've
them
seen
like
this.
looks like a chocolate bar, like a payday or something with the peanuts in it, and like it's funny.
So you guys need to make an on the runs version of that poster and sell it. Like that would be amazing.
Oh my
like
God.
how
Writing
good would
down
that
more
be?
business ideas.
Yes.
Write it down.
Mhm.
I write it down after when I'm editing. I'm like, oh yeah, that was good. I actually message myself. I type it to myself in Facebook Messenger.
Oh, smart. I love it.
Here's a good idea.
Holy
Right.
shit.
Yep, that's what I do.
chart.
In fact, when I'm listening to this episode while editing it, I will write like some of the bulletin points that I'll put in the post. And then when I go to make the episode post, I'll go back to my Messenger to myself. I'll scroll up and find it and I'll copy, paste, edit, put emojis in. That's how I do it all.
Just all poop. It's like
Yeah, all poop. This one's going to be called Hanna Littlefield.
No, it's gotta be
This one's-
fucking
no.
Hanna Littlefield.
Yeah.
I was going to say this one's going to
Hanna
be called,
Solo.
Obviously Hanna Solo, but I was going to say it could be, I lost my track of thought here.
Sorry.
It's only poop charts, and only feet.
That's gonna attract some weirdos. But as long as they listen.
that one might make your algorithm a little bit weird. Well, and the funny
All right.
thing was,
We welcome it.
before this, when I had told my friend, I was like, oh my God, I pooped like 6 times today. Which is like, if you're my friend, if you're my best friend, I tell you every time I poop. And I don't know why. Whatever. I think I have a problem. But then my friend was like, all right. Like, so my friend was like, oh, you have that podcast thing today, right? And I'm like, yeah, and I'm really nervous. They were like, well, talk about poop. And I was like, I don't think I can do that. I'm like, well,
it's in her name, practically.
I know.
That's our name.
Does anybody actually want to talk about poop? Like,
that was
good,
our
okay.
driving factor when we first started. We're like, all right, who's got the best poop stories that we can like tap into? Who's got them? And every time they come out figuratively and literally. I mean, they make me laugh. I mean, it's just my favorite. It's some of my favorite stuff to talk about. Like, who doesn't like to talk about poop?
This started because we would go on long runs during COVID, and I would always have to poop, and it would be like, Eric gets the runs on the long runs, and I was like, we need to do a podcast. What's our name going to be? And I thought like, we need to make baby wipes for running that would be biodegradable, and we'd call it On the Runs. And I'm like, that's the name of the podcast. Everyone's heard that before. I've said that story, but that's how we came up with the name. And then it's like, let's get people on to tell us their code brown. So we call it a code brown.
If you want a funny episode to listen to, you got to go back and listen to Neil Murphy. He had some of the funniest poop stories I think I've ever heard, and he had me like crying. Luckily, this was before we started the video podcast part, but I would like lean over, I would blow my nose in my shirt because I didn't have tissues. Like, I was crying with laughter from this guy. So episode 19 is good.
Here's the question. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have poop stools?
Poop like a squatty potty?
Not a squatty potty, because those are the poop stool. Do you have an actual stool that you put in front of your toilet and use for poop? Because squatty potties, I don't believe in that crap. That plastic crap is such no. I have a handmade poop stool.
That is fancy. I can't say that I do.
Do you have a squatty potty?
I don't have one of those either, but I don't have.
What do? You savage! You just poop with your feet on the floor?
I do.
Oh, I know what you're talking
savage.
about. Yes, I've seen.
Yes.
I've seen.
My feet are
the
cold on the
before,
floor. Yep.
I've seen this before because they say when your feet's on the stool and your foot is up higher, like 4, 5, 6 inches, it like releases some gland and lets everything just
It's your
flow.
body's natural pooping position. Well, that's
Yes.
like, you think about it, when cavemen didn't have toilet, they did little poop squat.
That is true.
So
Erica,
Yeah.
they make these stools and they got a curve to fit under the toilet so you can slide it under the toilet.
Mhm.
And then when you're pooping, you just pull it out a foot. and you
Clearly,
put
I
your
need to
feet on
get
it.
one, or
But it
else
is
I'm going to
kinda-
be pooping like a savage forever.
Yeah. But you
It is
have
kind of funny because depending on how big you are or whatever, like tall, your knees would be like up in your tits.
Yeah,
Why?
it's like, oh yeah, see, you gotta
Well,
like.
I'm
I don't
saying
have
if you're
big
really
tits,
short.
though, so. Oh, well.
I'll give you some of my plastic nips.
Thank you, Hannah.
You're welcome.
Oh, God. That's so good.
Hanna, this has been so much fun. Can you believe we've been going almost an hour and a half?
Yeah, talking
I'm-
about poop.
See, we
and
told you
nips.
there's
no-
no reason to be nervous because we just,
No.
this is us just shooting the shit. Like, this is
Yeah.
why I love doing this so
no
much.
show
It's just so
notes.
much fun.
We weren't prepared. We're just like, we're going to roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
This
Worked
is
out
great.
well. Yeah.
So, Hanna, I go through your Instagram and I try to find a random photo. Okay. So, your
Mhm.
Instagram, by the way, do you know how many Instagram posts you have?
I wish it was like 6969.
Giggity.
Oh, I wish it was too. You are 22 posts away from 2,000.
Oh,
I went through every photo last night because I'm in a hotel and I had nothing
He's
else to
bored.
do, and I just had a
Oh,
movie
yeah,
on and I'm
you-
scrolling.
He deep
Right.
dives.
I
He
went-
creeps real.
Wow.
He gets down.
mm. I think I started my Instagram when I was in college, so
Oh, so we'll see
Probably
what
saw
he's
some
going to come up
shit.
with.
You
This
saw
will
some
be
shit.
interesting.
I don't even think Instagram was around when we were in college, Erica. Like we were in college before Facebook. It came out the year we were freshmen in college. That's how old Erica and I are. We're old, but
Yeah.
I digress.
Was it 2005
I
or
went back-
something? I was like a sophomore.
Yeah, I think 4, but I
Anyway.
went back to October 13th, 2014.
what was I doing?
What were
Let's
you
find
doing?
out.
I think you were getting some
Probably nothing good.
awesome tattoos.
What one is that? Your video quality is like poo poo caca. Is that my anchor? Or is that the what is going
It
on?
looks like
What is-
a dinosaur skull. Skull.
Oh!
It might be a horse.
It's a unicorn. Yeah.
It's a unicorn.
Fun.
Oh, your fingers over the top of the unicorn. Tell me about your unicorn tattoo.
Yes. So I have a unicorn skull that goes from my knee all the way up the side of my thigh. It's done by Justin Nordine, who's out of Colorado, who does, oh my gosh, you gotta check his Instagram out. Phenomenal tattoo artist. He specializes in like geometric, like watercolor kind of stuff. Going crazy good. I told him, I was like, I want a unicorn skull. I actually did it shortly after my first half marathon. And I was like, I'm never going to run longer than this. I'm going to celebrate this moment. And I was like going through this big transformative experience. Like I had graduated college in 2013, like, you know, becoming a big kid. I was dealing with like mental health issues, discovered running, all this stuff. And a long time ago, I had drawn for my AP art project, I was drawing a bunch of animal skulls of like animals that are mythological, you know, like a unicorn. And I remember I did this unicorn piece and I titled it Keep the Dream Alive. And throughout this, you know, experience in my life where I was struggling, you know, with depression, anxiety, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do as a big kid, you know, ran this half marathon and it was the hardest thing I had done in my life because like that's a long time to run. And I got this tattoo after and I was like, I'm going to keep the dream alive. I'm going to stay a little kid as long as I'm never going to grow up. Like, you know, the whole never grow up. It's a trap. And this unicorn skull is like, you know, I'm going to believe in unicorns. And like this skull proves that unicorns exist because if they didn't exist,
They're real.
Yeah, they're real. And just having that like that fantastical view on life and like not growing up. keeping the dream alive, you know?
You're so awesome. I just love everything about you. You are fantastic. Such a good outlook on things.
I actually, my most recent tattoo I got is a goose. So that it just keeps getting better. Yeah.
I love it. That's amazing. Yes, never grow up. I vow for the rest of my life to always find farts funny. That's like the one thing that I can say, well, I will never grow out of.
Yeah. And isn't it even funny when you're running along and you're farting as you're running and you're running with somebody like in a race and they're like doing the run fart and they're trying to pretend that they're not and you're like, come on, dude. You can't do this with a straight face.
So during one of my last laps this year at ADU, I was walking with Eric and he just lets one rip and I freaking losing it. Because at that stage you're just goofy and like you don't have all your wits about you, and that just like set me up. Oh my god, so good. I absolutely love it.
That was great. I found a good one. I did good.
I'm gonna have to go look at it after. Or did you send it to me already? I can't remember.
I did. Yes. I sent, and I think I just sent it to you again. Actually,
all right, perfect.
You just try it. I have an ADU tattoo as well.
Do you really? Oh, that's fantastic.
Is it? What is it? An anchor, or is it just like what is it?
It's a watercolor anchor on the inside of my ankle, and I recommend no one ever getting that tattoo. It was the most painful.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a.
It was more painful than ADU, I think. Yeah.
So pick a
different
spot
start,
for
you
it,
can't
then.
stop.
Huh?
Yeah.
Once
you start like getting a tattoo there, you can't just stop. You got to finish the tattoo.
You can if you want.
Well, I know, but then you got like just some weird piece of color or something. Yeah.
Half of a
What's
tattoo.
that symbolize? That symbolizes pain, and I didn't want to do it anymore. That's my breaking point.
Yeah, that was it.
That's when I said no.
And the funny thing is that I got it after my 12-hour because I was like, I'm never gonna run more than 12 hours. That's phenomenal. Like, I keep getting these tattoos and then doing more. Like, I have wings on the outside of my ankles that I got tattooed when I was 16 with my mom's permission. And I was in high school and I was like, Mom, I want a tattoo because I was edgy. I was emo. I was alternative. You know,
yeah.
Did you like cool. Paramore?
I didn't like Paramore. I was like from first to last. Hello.
I liked Paramore.
I liked the poppy punk shit, like Fall Out Boy, Newfound Glory. That was my jam.
Fall Out Boy, Blink-182. Yeah. I went to a private Catholic school, so I couldn't have purple hair or whatever.
Oh, bummer. I feel like back in the day, like you didn't see the colored hair quite as much. Like I love that people are doing it more. Like it makes me so happy. I'll sit and I'll watch those reels on Instagram of people with like the rainbow, like beautiful.
Oh my gosh,
I need it. I want to go fully gray first. I've got a little bit of gray. I want to go fully gray and then dye it.
Go crazy with it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So it's actually on my list to talk about your purple hair because you are not our first guest with awesomely colored hair.
Fashion colors are
at
in.
least our third, possibly our fourth. Or when did you add color?
I started coloring in high school, and because I went to a private Catholic high school, I think my first color was red. But since I was like 15, it came out more orange, like at-home box dye, kids. Like,
that's a rite of passage in itself, dyeing your own hair.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then in college, I started doing like the color, and I think the first time I bleached my hair was with my partner and a bottle of vodka, and we bleached my hair and put pink in it. And I loved it. And I was like, this is so much fun. Like, I'm a big kid, especially coming from a high school where I couldn't do that. I couldn't have my piercings. I couldn't have crazy hair. I was wearing a uniform every day. Like, you got yelled at if like...
Couldn't express yourself.
Exactly. And I was like, oh shit, here we go, baby. Like,
happening.
This is what happens. So I started doing like, box dyeing my hair. I did, I had blue in it. I did pink, all these different colors. And then one one snowstorm right after I graduated college. I was like, let's do purple. And I want to say, yep, probably again, vodka was involved. And we did my whole head like permanent purple. And I loved it. And ever since then, I've just been like going back. And so like 10 years, I guess.
Nice.
I've like had periods where it grows out fair because it's like it's high maintenance.
Mhm.
My hair lady is like, "Do you want to come back in 6 weeks to do a root touch up?" And I'm like, "Nah, man, let it grow." Like it takes like 6 hours to do
Oh my
between
God.
like, yeah, you go, they bleach it, they cut it, they dry it, then they put oh my gosh, it's so long. I can't do it. It's too much.
Do you have to like use a special shampoo or anything? Because I'll bring up 2 points here. One, Celeste talked about how she has to wash her hair one half at a time because it's split in the middle and it's blue and red. And then Lindsay told us that because she sweats a lot from running, the dye likes to bleed a little quicker, and so she's trying to find a way to stop that. What do you do for your hair care with the purple hair?
She can put her hair dye into her conditioner and condition it like that. I don't because I'm lazy. Like, and I usually let it grow out. And like, I'm sure you saw through your Instagram deep dive that like my hair will like, I'll have like half down to here will be my roots and the ends will be purple. And the whack thing is that people will still be like, "I love your hair." And I'm like, "Thanks. It's my roots." Like, but if you put a little bit of hair dye of whatever color you have in your shampoo or conditioner, it can help keep it a little bit revitalized. I just don't because I don't even like washing my hair that much because it's not good for you. It strips your oils and your hair dye.
Mm-hmm.
But it is funny because after you
I don't wash my hair either.
Yeah, well. Maybe you should just try like putting hair dye in and
Oh my God. You'd have to get the little stubble at least, like instead of being totally like shaven.
yeah.
When I shave, I look younger. I feel like I look younger when I shave. So this has been 3 days and I definitely hit 40. But when I shave, I'm like 32 again. Maybe even 28.
Wow. What do you think would happen if I shaved my head?
I do typically shave every day. I just got lazy. I'm like Hanna. I got lazy a little.
So high maintenance. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I like every day. No.
I'm too lazy
Every
to do
day
that.
I have a skull shaver.
Oh.
I just turn it on. It's like a razor. It's just called the skull shaver, and I can do it in the shower.
It does sound kind of like dangerous, but it's really like it's anticlimactic. It's really nice.
You know what though? You know, if that was made for a female, it would be so nice.
Kind of want one of those for like the legs.
Yeah, I like
them.
Yeah, it's the male marketing though. If you're gonna shave, it has to be wicked manly. The skull crusher, like, whereas ours would be like the flower petal.
And it would cost like an extra $30 just because that's how fucking marketing works for women. It's pink, therefore it costs more. Asshole.
Yeah. No, that is true.
Bothers
the
me.
company of one of the skull shavers I have, the company makes one for women. For your legs.
More expensive?
Yeah.
I don't know about price, but they didn't
see.
change the name. It's still Skull Shaver. They didn't change the name. That's all I know. Still Skull Shaver.
Cool.
Good for them.
No free ad.
Hashtag. All right, Hanna. I got one question for you. I don't know if he prepped you
She
for
has
this.
a wicked tough question too.
Okay.
I have a feeling I might know which genre you're going to go with, but we have a Spotify playlist and we invite our guests to add a song to it. So it could be anything you're really feeling at the moment. It could go back to your emo love and roots. It could be something that like gets you through those nip collecting miles. Do you want to add a song?
Yeah. I absolutely will add a song. I'm gonna way overthink it though, you know, like
take your time. I mean, we honestly didn't prep you for it, so
yeah.
That's why this is a tough question. Like Erica thinks I'm just giving her a hard time by saying Erica has a big tough question at the end. No, this is why, because you get to pick one song.
Yeah.
Unless,
so
well,
many
I mean, if you have
options.
two that you really can't choose between, we'll give you two because it doesn't matter. There are people who have
no,
two,
because-
but
I listen to music all the time. Like, you know how Spotify gives you your Spotify Wrapped? I spend like,
Yeah.
especially I'm home all the time coding and I'm listening to music while I'm coding. So that's like 8 hours a day. Like, I've listened to like 3 months of music straight. Like, how am I supposed to pick one?
I am impressed.
Wait a minute.
Mhm.
I have a recording. Oh shit, it has to be on Spotify, doesn't it? I was gonna say I have a recording of myself playing All Star by Smash Mouth on the recorder. I was like, if I can get that on Spotify, can I add it?
If you can get it, yes,
are-
absolutely. Because
Okay.
that Neil Murphy guy we were telling you about, he added, he's like, I want like this 10-hour version of the epic sax guy, like a 10-hour loop. I found like I found the small version because they didn't have the 10-hour loop, but I was like, I'll add whatever you want to it. So
Okay, yeah. And at the end of my recording, I was making it for a ringtone. So if you want it as a ringtone, you can do it. But at the end, because I had tried it like 10 million times, it's just me going, yay! Because I was so excited. I sat in my living room on the couch like for like 3 hours straight trying to do a run through of All Star by Smash Mouth on the recorder. So I was very thrilled with my skill.
you were a very creative
So-
person. I'm loving it. Yay!
This is
Time
perfect.
on my hands.
This is perfect for a couple reasons. One, I was actually going to mention during the Tros, Erica,
Mhm.
about Smash Mouth and the lead singer who just passed away,
Mhm.
and how things happen in threes. So the threes were Smash Mouth, Jimmy Buffett, and my cell phone.
Oh,
Cell phone.
So,
R.I.P. cell phone.
but
yeah.
the other thing is, you mentioned a recording of you singing Smash Mouth. If you go back to Maurice's episode, Maurice Lohman, the Marathon Panda, I was editing the video for YouTube the other day, Erica, and
Mhm.
there is a quick clip of me singing, "Hey now, you're an all-star, get your game on, go play." And I was
Really?
like, as I'm recording it, I was like, oh my God, he just passed away.
Aw.
Yeah. Yeah, at some point in that episode, I said that. I don't remember why. It might have had to do with the song, but yeah, small
Interesting.
world.
Who's next?
Oh no. I don't want to think about that now.
Yeah,
You don't
go
want-
through this podcast and hopefully you didn't sing anything or whatever, because
Hopefully not. I don't want to jinx anybody.
It's gonna be the inventor of the squatty potty.
Well, he left us
Or,
with
like,
a wonderful
awesome.
legacy.
Creative director, like
So do we want to put your All-Star Smash Mouth recorder version, or do you want to pick something else too? Just in case. Have a backup.
okay, I'll have a backup if I can't figure out how to get this on Spotify. I'll have a backup, and it'll. I go through like these. I like will listen to the same song over and over and over again. And I'm sure if you went through all my Instagram, instead of posting so much lately, I just take little videos and I put them to whatever song I'm listening. And I think if it's not my Smash Mouth, it's going to be the Lovely Day by Bill Withers, because
Love it.
that was playing
yeah.
at ADU when I was eating my morning breakfast donut. I was laying on the ground, had my feet up. I was eating donuts, and my crew recorded me and was like, "What's your favorite part about this moment right now?" And in whatever state, I was like, "Right now, I think this song." And it was Lovely Day playing over the speakers. And I was like, 50 miles in, shoving my face with a donut, laying on the ground, have to run 12 more hours. I'm like, yeah, I really like this song. So I think I would go with that. That'll be my backup if I can't have Smash Mouth recorder.
That
We're
is
just gonna add it.
perfect.
We're just gonna
You'll
we're
get
gonna
two.
add.
We're gonna hope for both, but you at least get Bill
Okay.
Withers.
Okay.
So
Excellent.
amazing.
That's right. That's the one where it's like lovely day, lovely
Mhm.
day, right?
You can't not just like everybody
Good song.
knows
Good
it.
jam.
Yeah, it is. It's such a feel good. Like even if you're having the worst day, you're like, it's a lovely day. I have donuts. It's a lovely day. I
It is
have
popular.
School. Like,
It is popular on Instagram right now, where when you select music, it's usually in that like first page you see.
Is it?
You started it.
Yeah,
There
I
you
think
go.
so. Yeah.
Started that trend. That was me.
All right. Hanna, you are drinking out of this gigantic water bottle. You've taken about 172 sips during this interview. How
It's
big is
almost
that water
gone.
bottle, and how much water have you had?
This is what we call
Yeah,
my
ADU.
baby.
Oh, I see ADU right
Oh
there.
yeah, I have ADU on there
Mhm.
somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah, this is my baby. It's 84 ounces of
Whoa.
water. Yeah. It's got
Not
a little
vodka?
straw. It's from simplemodern.com. I got it off Amazon. It was cheap because the pattern was ugly as sin and I just covered it up. I drink at least one a day, but I realize that it's excessive. And that's why we call it my baby, because like my friends and family will literally be like, oh, you forgot your baby here. Like, or I'll text them like, shit, I can't find my baby. Did I leave it in your car? Like, but it's just, I started with a small one like you, Erica.
Mhm.
And
This is
at
what,
the time
32?
I was,
Yeah, this is like a 32.
I think I started with smaller, and I was working at a cannabis facility where like you don't have access to water all the time because you're like, working with like, so you fill your water bottle and you have it and you bring it around with you while you're working with the plants and everything. And then, so I kept drinking it, and then I was like refilling it all the time, and I was like, I need a bigger water bottle. So I got a bigger one, like probably a 32 ounce. And then I got a bigger one. And then this is the biggest one I could find. And like I should like make an Instagram for my baby because everybody comments about him but for me, I'm like, he's not that big. Like, because I carry him everywhere. Like, can you tell? I've had it.
Like, I don't know if you saw my face. You said it was 84 ounces, and I was like, whoa. Because usually, like, people will do, like, the growler size. So that's, 64? But, like, even that is gigantic. That gets so heavy when you, fill the whole thing up, especially if it's, like, a nice insulated, like, bottle.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But it's so great because I never have to fill it. I never have, well, I do, but, like I can go out and about and not have to worry about being thirsty. Like, being thirsty is the worst feeling ever. And, like, I don't like using like, who wants to use a water bottle you buy from a gas station, like, it feels bad. So I just bring my baby with me everywhere. Like, I'll bring it into restaurants because the waiter will take too long to refill my water. I'm like, I'll just drink my own.
Right.
I don't care.
Does he have a name?
No, just my baby. It's like,
love it.
I don't know. It's just, I should maybe name it, but I guess my baby just
that works.
well.
Flows
It
off
probably
the tongue.
weighs as much as a baby, and you can like.
That is child size. That's like infant. That's
Child
infant. It is like an infant.
Yeah. But I love it. And I've had it for probably like 5 years. I have dropped it. Like, this thing is, no free ads, but this thing's great. Like, if you want a good workout and it lasts well, yeah, and it has a straw because some of the ones you have to like hold up with a mouthpiece and like it gets all over you. I literally have to buckle this thing into my front seat. Like, whenever I drive, it's in my passenger seat and I put my belt buckle on. But like, people will go to sit in my car and my buckle will be belted and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is my baby. My baby sits in the front seat. like, yeah.
Remember the big one I got, Erica? I think it's also 84. But I lost the straw, so it made it so difficult.
That's the like clear one, though, right? Like, didn't you have a big clear one?
Plastic,
something like that.
I got it for Christmas a couple years ago, and I would take it around with me. And once I lost the straw,
it's impossible.
It was like a 50-pound dumbbell I'm putting in front of my face. Like, if I drop that, boom,
it's gone. You can't like drive in the car and take a sip because it's like a two-handed. Yeah, it's
right. Yes, it is. It's definitely a two-handed water bottle when you lose the straw.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would like, in hindsight, if I ever go into a business, it's going to be a water bottle business because the top is so tiny that when I can only fit two hands, and when it's full, it hurts wicked bad.
You just gotta like hot
because
glue
you're
or
like,
solder like a handle on
Yeah.
the side too, so you can just like strong arm that thing.
I should, yeah, because it weighs, I don't know how much 84 ounces of water
Get one
weighs.
of those big
lot.
carabiners that you can clip to it, but you can use your entire hand to hold the carabiner. And you can even get like a padded carabiner.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I'm gonna put a carabiner
I
on
went
my
to college.
baby.
I got a degree.
And water bottle.
I use my brain sometimes.
Yeah, fair.
Water bottle.
Hanna, this was
Yeah.
Hanna, this was awesome. You're a pro. You are a pro at podcasting for someone who's
honestly
never
total natural.
yeah,
'Cause I
for
have no
someone who's never
filter.
even listened to a podcast, you're a pro.
I feel like I should. Hey, welcome to On the Runs. Today we're talking about poop stools, and water bottles. Here's a word from our sponsor, who is either going to be on the runs poop charts. Check us out on ontheruns.com.
It's our Patreons.
Yeah, it's our Patreon.
That was perfect. He's 100% gonna clip that and put it in the very beginning of the episode. I guarantee you that's gonna happen.
There is another one, but I'm gonna have to use it now. I'm gonna have to use it.
You can use the other one as the outro like music. He always puts like
I've pooped 6 times today. Outro.
You're giving him so much content. Usually it's me saying something stupid that he'll put at the very end, like it's after our outro music, and he'll put me saying like the other day, like I had I scraped my knees at anchor down and I like scraped it on the side and I go, owie, I got an ouchie on my boo boo or something, and like you put that. I'm like, I hate you sometimes.
So like it's like after the outro music fades out, it's like 5 seconds of silence, and if you're still listening, you just hear Erica go, owie.
Yeah, he'll put like it's always a fun little blooper somewhere here and there. So.
It's like when you sit through the Marvel credits just to see like that
it's the
little
end
thing.
scene,
Yes.
like the cut
Oh my
scene.
God.
Yeah.
Yes,
Exactly
I'm
what it
so
is.
into Marvel movies right now too, and it's like I kind of just click 10 seconds, 10 during the because there's
Don't
other
want to
hidden
miss
ones
anything.
in there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I want to see everyone, and they all
Right.
play a key part to like the timeline or the story or just something funny. And I'm in love. I'm just in love. Erica knows this. I'm in love with Gamora right now.
Right
And
now.
He loves her.
If she and Peter Quill do not get back together somehow, I will be extremely disappointed.
Still no spoilers, man.
Like,
I haven't seen the
I
third
didn't know
one.
they broke up.
Yeah, man.
She's just a badass green thing, green little thing. She's just this badass
We're
green
gonna
little
feature
sexy thing.
her feet on our Only Feet page.
No, you gotta have the Gamora, and it's like
This is oh my god. Ugh.
Yeah,
It's happening.
I'm in love, and they better get back together. They better. Like how Captain America went back to the 1920s or whenever, and he went back and found Agent Carter, and they lived happily ever after.
I feel like
They have
you're
to do it
ruining some
for
shit for
Quill.
her, man. Stop it.
Oh wait, I thought you just didn't want me to ruin it for you, Erica.
Well, I've seen that one, but I don't know what she's seen, so we'll just
yeah.
Are you big into Marvel movies? We got to go 6 more minutes. We have to hit the 2-hour mark. We can't go short.
I read books more than I watch movies. That's my.
So see, I'm not ruining it for her, then.
He actually sent me the like your book list of what you read, I think last year, and I was trying to see if I had any books in common with you. And I think the only one I read that you also read was Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir.
I just reread that this year. I cried again. It is such a good book. I love that book. And I've heard I might even listen to I don't usually do audiobooks.
I listened to the audio.
Was it phenomenal?
It was phenomenal. That's how I really was able to enjoy it. I feel like that much more because you know the little like bleep blarps and stuff in there.
Yeah.
He's like his own person. Like it's no spoilers.
Oh, because he okay, so it's not me sitting in my room going bleep bloop bloop.
Nope.
bloop.
There's
it's like they actually
it's legit like tones. Like it's not the guy making the noises. They'll put like tones in there, and just the way they did it was awesome. So I think you'll really enjoy it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I will.
So-
I already reread it this year, but I might listen to it. Just
Eventually. It is out there and it is well done. So
Okay.
So for the folks listening, I will put this in the show notes, but there's a website, goodreads.com, that Hanna has a page on or something. In the year 2022, you read 57 books. You want to take a guess, Erica, how many pages she read?
Oh, that's a lot of pages.
That's a lot of pages.
I mean, you figure each book's probably around like 250, 300 pages at least, and then math. So I don't know.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
can you do that math? Because I can't.
The average length in books she read was 360 pages.
Oh, that's way longer.
totaling
Holy shit.
Oh, that is long.
Totaling a total of 20,534 pages. And I think you can
Well
see
done.
on
Well
this,
done.
you can see on here every book you've shelved. They
cool.
call it, you shelved
Mhm.
the book.
Mm-hmm.
So The Parent, oh no, that's a suggested book. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo is the most
So
recent book you read.
good. Yeah, that book was really good. I actually reread that this year too. I actually finished my 50th book last night.
Holy shit.
So-
You're well
Yeah.
on your way
you're gonna
to
crush
yeah.
last year's numbers.
I love books.
Can I give you a book suggestion?
Yeah.
Why Run When by Patrick Lieber.
Wait, what? Why
It is
run
a tongue
when?
twister.
It's called
Yeah.
Why
Why
Run
Run
When
When
You Can Smoke and Drive a Car at the Same
Drive.
Time. Smoke and drive. Sorry, Patrick. I actually have the book behind me, but
Why? Okay.
he's a friend of
Okay.
ours.
It's
Hold
a
on.
quick read, short chapters. You'll do it in probably 20 minutes, maybe even 15 at your pace.
Why Run
Okay.
When? Here we go.
Why Run When You Can Drive and Smoke at the Same Time.
All right. Yeah.
He's a guest of the pod, and it's his running stories he's compiled in his 30 plus years of running.
Is there poop stories?
I don't remember
There's not, but he
specifically,
does share-
he's got a lot of
But
good ones.
he
in there.
does share. Well, hold on. He came on the pod and he shared a poop story with us that he hasn't even told his wife.
Wow.
I think he's
But
saving
he's
it
like,
for
"I
the
gotta
book
tell you
sequel.
guys."
He's gonna write another book.
He is planning on a book number 2, and I think
Okay,
he's
okay.
gonna. Yeah, we'll get the
I
code
will-
brown out of him then.
I will add it to my Goodreads. I'll put it on my to be read pile. Yeah.
It's funny. I like
And-
to listen to books, but I should get back. I should get on Goodreads because I have just a Google Doc where I just list all the books I
Mhm.
read, and it's kind of
So,
fun because
I
I just
actually-
search like if I want to reread it. I'm like, how many times have I read this book? And I'll just like find how many
Yeah.
times.
Goodreads will keep track of it for you. And also, like, if you hate Amazon, because I think Amazon bought out Goodreads and,
Oh.
capitalist America, there's StoryGraph, which is actually way, way better than Goodreads. Like, it's way more detailed in terms of
Ooh.
what you can track on your books. Like, my StoryGraph is like, oh, like, Hanna likes reading, like, emotional, dark, nonfiction books that are, like, it's crazy how detailed they are.
Wow.
But, yeah, like, Goodreads or StoryGraph,
I'm
it will
right there.
track, you can track anything and it'll give you suggestions based on like what you've read and how you've rated books. It'll be like, oh, if you liked Why Run When, right?
You had
If
it.
you like that book.
It's a tongue
There's
twister.
other books about running or by the same author or whatever. So it's, yeah, I love it. Especially if you're like looking to reread a book or read people's reviews on how good a book was or whatever.
That's
Love it.
perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check that out.
Mm-hmm. No free ads, but
Well, Hanna and Erica, we have officially hit the 2-hour mark.
that's a long
And
run.
I think we've only done this like 1 or 2 times before. So you're in a special group right now, Hanna. How
mean,
this
though?
just let me tell you one thing. Before you jumped on, Erica's like, "Do we have any notes?" I'm like, "Nope," because I'm traveling. I'm on the
No.
road today for work. I didn't get to do my notes during the day. And she's like, "How long do you think it'll be?" And I go, "Let's just make sure we hit 60 minutes." My battery saver just turned on the laptop. Like, that's how long we've been doing this.
So we got
Hanna,
some
this
good
was
stuff
so
from
much fun.
from you. Yeah, you're just very easy to
Oh.
talk to. This was fun.
I was told that when we did the doc. I think it's just because I'm very like, I don't
You can feel
give
how
a
chill
shit.
you are. Like, yeah, you just
Like,
have no.
yeah. Well,
You
that's
give
like,
zero fucks.
no, yeah. I'm just like, this is who I am. Like, if you don't like it, okay. Because that's like when we were doing the documentary, and a lot of it was like they ask you questions and you answer or whatever.
Mhm.
And they were like, wow, you're like really good at this. And I'm like, it's just because I'm talking to you like you're a human. And like, like, I don't care what people think of me. And like, I don't know, people are like, wow, this girl's weird because she talked about her poop a lot. I'm like, that is the tip of the iceberg. You should watch me eat a Cadbury egg, motherfucker. Like, it's just kind of like whatever. But I think, like-minded people end up having good conversations where like, okay, if you wanted me to take myself seriously, this probably would have been over at exactly the 60-minute mark. Because you'd be like texting each other like, she's talking about poop again.
No, I'm very glad you are unapologetically you. So don't change. Do not change for anyone.
I had a feeling when you ran by us and we wanted to say hi, because we didn't even get to say hi to you before the race. I don't know. Maybe I was too shy, or Eric was just
Like,
too
I
in the
haven't even
zone,
really
and-
talked to you before that. So I'm glad we at least got to do this. This was great.
Me too.
But when you passed us, and let me tell you, Erica was nervous to even say thank you. She was like, nervous. What am I going to say? How am I going to say it? Here she comes. I'm like, she's coming. She's coming. Don't get ready. We could
And
see
then
you
you
from
you
far away.
turned around and you stopped. I'm like, Hanna, no, don't stop. Like, I don't want to throw off your race.
I had like another 12 hours to run. What
know.
is a couple of seconds? Like,
Well, still,
I knew at that moment.
That just
I
goes to
knew
show
at that
what kind of
moment
person
this was going to be great.
Mm-hmm. She'll stop.
Well,
and
that's
talk.
like what I was saying is that like when people will be like, oh my gosh, like you won ADU or like you were in this documentary thing. And I'm just like, I am like any other person. Like it just because I won ADU once or just because I was in this documentary or just because whatever, any of the stories or weird shit or anything like that. It's like, I'm just like a human. Like, I love people and I love like-minded people and I love weird people. And I love, like, I would do the same thing as you. Like, if I won an award at ADU, I would wait to find the person who, like to be like, oh my gosh, thank you. Like, this is so freaking cool. Like, and I was like, the fact that you would like hang around and like know that it was me and like that it meant enough for you to be like, hey, thanks. Then tell me to keep running. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I just didn't want you to stop on my account. If you wanted to stop for the hell of it, you do you.
30 seconds. Like,
You're awesome. You
we
really are
we
awesome.
love you,
We
Hanna.
love
You're
you.
so cool.
Thanks for doing this. We're going to see you at Anchor Down next year, if not before, because you're just south of us. We're in New Hampshire. You're in Taunton.
Love New Hampshire. Where?
I'm in Nashua. I'm just over the border. Not even that far.
I went to school in Nashua. I went to college at Daniel Webster. Rest in peace.
I drive by there every day, actually, to go to work. I work in like Amherst Hollis, like right, like I take back roads. So you were right by like the airport and stuff. Yeah, that's my way to work.
Yeah, that aviation school that no longer exists. My high school also shut down. Rule of threes. Your podcast might shut down next.
Don't jinx us.
Oh, we are. No,
we're taking
this
off.
thing is blowing up.
Yeah, now you have a
taken
poop
off.
chart idea. Like, come on. Like, I really hope there's a poop chart in the works.
We're gonna get our graphic artist Alejandra on this and see what she can come up with.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. The poop chart that you're making is in the works, and we will make sure somehow to have it be by On the Runs or brought to you by On the Runs or something. So when that comes up, you let me know. We'll talk. We don't have a lot of money though, but we want to be a part of it if we can.
Yes, for free. You guys can be the poop chart.
We'll give you free advertising on the pod.
Yeah. No free ads except
for you.
We'll do that. Yeah, we will promote. Yes, okay. When it is time, you tell us and we will do something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. We'll make
Excellent.
Awesome. Hanna, thank you. Oh,
Thank
so
you
much
guys.
fun.
Maybe I'm a podcast listener now. Like maybe I'm gonna go and listen to all of them on my runs or something.
Let's start with Neil Murphy.
Perfect.
I don't know if we told everyone, but Neil Murphy is coming back at the end of the year.
He's fantastic.
Yay!
Yeah. Insert Hanna's. Yay!
From my recording.
Yes. But that'll be a blast.
Hanna, thank you. Everyone,
Thank
I
you
really
guys.
hope you enjoyed this. If you are still listening, this was you heard a lot of good stuff, guys. So 2 hours of Hanna Littlefield. That was awesome.
Can I just tell you how much I fucking love Hanna? Everything about her is just so much fun. I feel like she's my people. She is my people. So, Hanna, thank you so much again for spending like hours and hours with us. I can't wait to hang out with you.
I'm with you. That was so cool. Like finding nips on the side of the road and talking about poop charts and all that.
We got
cool
our work
shit.
cut out for us trying to. We got to get Alejandra to help us make some those poop chart things, and
she helped me a lot this weekend.
Yeah, she did.
And
Yeah,
we'll
she
get
did.
to that later. We'll talk about some logos later for the year 2024. We might have a little bit of a logo update. I'm really excited. But like we said, our outro is going to be on Thursday, guys. We'll have the whole entire Reach the Beach. However, I need to squeeze in one more thing with Erica here for all of you who have stuck around and listened to this whole thing. We're going to get her thoughts. Is NSYNC making a comeback tour?
If they don't, I'm going to be so sad. I have been Team NSYNC since I was like 11 years old. They have been a staple of my childhood and adolescence, and I want them to come back so fucking bad. Please excuse my French.
Did you watch, and I haven't watched this since high school, but did you watch the VMAs when they came on and Taylor Swift was going nuts and crazy and everyone's like, oh my God, are they coming back? And they made that one reel, the friends reel. Like,
I was glued to social media, but I don't have cable, so I couldn't watch it. So I was getting updates from friends. I was literally just glued to Instagram. So I found out pretty fast what was going on, and I know they have a new song that's dropping. Their new song drops on the day that I run Yeti 100. So I'm going to download it and be listening to that, and it's going to make my race, hopefully. But I want them to, my cousins and I, like, we grew up loving them. That was like a common bond that we had between us, me, Jen, and Steph. And like so many other friends have loved NSYNC for so long too. It's freaking bangers, like even today. So I want them to come back so bad. They can just take my money, take all my money.
All right. We'll see. We'll see. NSYNC, can you make Erica's dreams come true? I don't know. We'll see.
Backstreet Boys can do it, and New Kids on the Block. Why can't NSYNC? That's Justin's fault, I bet.
NSYNC, you heard it first here.
I want it.
All right, Erica. It's been a long night. We got a ton of content. Guys, the outro coming on Thursday. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, subscribe. And next week, episode 75. It's a big number. We might have a big guest we've been saving for a while. You guys are going to like what we have coming up. But first, the outro. So, Erica, take us home so everyone can turn us off. And if it's Thursday, listen to the outro.
Thank you guys for sticking with us. You know we love you. And don't forget to stretch.
Need a baby wipe?